When I talk to teachers across the country, I hear a common refrain. I love my students, but I'm running on empty. I'm tired. 7 out of 10 teachers in Texas alone have considered leaving the profession, quitting altogether, many naming stress and burnout as the primary factors. We're seeing some of the highest attrition rates in our state's history. Stress is contagious and it impacts student success. Did y'all know that? When stress is high, we see higher levels of anxiety in the classroom. We see more behavioral conflicts, and we see lower academic success. Now, this is important. These effects are not distributed evenly, okay? These conditions disproportionately impact students of color and students living in high poverty communities. And these are the same places where many of our teachers go and take on emotional burden as they try to help their students work through and navigate some of the most complex issues. Meanwhile, our pre-service teachers are experiencing what researchers call anticipated burnout. That means long before they enter the classroom, they're experiencing heavy emotional and cognitive loads. They've seen the social media posts. They know about what goes on in school board meetings. And they fear what the administrators and teachers might say about them. They worry about what parents and students will think about them. And this is a reality. This is a reality. So I've come to understand that this is not just a teacher shortage issue. This is a wellness crisis. And it's one that impacts so many students and classrooms across the country. So what's the good news? The good news is we can center care in our classrooms. I taught elementary for 6 years at a residential treatment facility, and it took me a while to learn how important care and humanity were to the teaching and learning context. I've studied some of the most widely used trauma-informed frameworks. What does it mean to be trauma-informed? It's simple. It means we recognize how trauma and stress impact learning and behavior. That's it. It means we develop strategies and skills that empower, that lead to safety, trust, and care. And so a colleague of mine built on this work. We created a trauma-informed model that reimagines what it means to teach and to care. And we're using this framework as a guidepost for a large national study where we examine some of the largest educator preparation programs in the country to understand and synthesize how trauma-informed approaches are being embedded in the classroom. Why are we doing that? Because we know these practices work, and we want to be on the front lines of what's going to come in teacher education. We'd like to see a move from standards and compliance to humanity and care. We also see this in a study I'm leading in New Jersey, where we look at trauma-informed high schools and how they use Zen-Dens. Zen-Dens are school-based wellness spaces that are built to help students rest, pause, and reconnect. And some of our early findings were showing that there are links between Zen-Den usage and lower rates of chronic absenteeism. That's a key metric for success. We're also hearing stories about students all of a sudden building stronger connections with their peers and their teachers. Belongingness, connectedness, those are things that matter to students. So I have a simple conviction in my work. It's this: healing, care, teaching, and learning are inseparable. So when we think about supporting student success, I'm going to argue that we need to better prepare our pre-service teachers. I want them to have long, fruitful careers. I want them to learn how to navigate stress. And I want them to be able to operate in these sometimes politically contentious environments. And that's what trauma-informed approaches do for them. Okay, they center on relationships, agency, and care. That way they can go into classrooms later, work with their students, and help them develop solutions to the real world problems that they face. My hope is that through our research and the collaborations that we're building, we can guide universities, school districts, and policymakers to build better school systems that center on humanity and care. Remember, for every teacher, every loving, caring teacher that we retain, that is a lifeline for hundreds of students. And that, to me, is the heart of education. Thank you.